Hey, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. So today's a new episode. It's a post-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Bermudez versus Chang Sung Jung, aka the Korean Zombie, a featherweight clash main event. Korean Zombie coming back from a long layoff after having to serve time defending his country of South Korea. Doing military service there, and Dennis Bermudez, a top 10 ranked featherweight going into this fight. So this is a post-fight show of the main card, and let's get started. So in the main event we had Chang Sung Jung versus Dennis Bermudez, and this was pretty shocking. I could not believe it. Dennis Bermudez got knocked out pretty quick. It was KO, uppercut, and punches in the first round. I think Dennis Bermudez, I picked him on my pre-fight show, thinking that he would eventually ground and pound or knock out Chang Sung Jung. And what really threw me off is Dennis Bermudez did land some really heavy shots, but it didn't knock out Chang Sung Jung. Chang Sung Jung can take hard shots and keep going. I was blown away. I was impressed by his chin. That's really what helped him stay alive in this fight. And then on top of it, Chang Sung Jung stayed composed and just really worked his striking real well in this fight. So Dennis Bermudez gets knocked out by uppercut and punches. Chang Sung Jung back in the top 10. Impressive win. Wow. I'm impressed. I think this guy should get, Jeremy Stevens and the like in coming fights. Not Cub Swanson though, because I think Cub needs to fight a top 5 guy. Anyways, that was the main event, and then in the co-main event we had Felice Herrig versus Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso, Invicta FC superstar, going into the UFC, high praise, high expectations, and she's won, I believe, her first fight in the UFC going into this fight, and then she fights Felice Herrig. Felice Herrig, severe underdog, proved everyone wrong. This one I was also wrong about. Felice Herrig did her thing, and she narrowly outpointed Alexa Grasso on the strikes, I think, on every round. There's 1 or 2 rounds where it was pretty obvious Felice Herrig won, and then the other rounds were fairly close in the striking, but I'd give those to Felice Herrig as well. So, one judge had it 30-27, the other 29-28, but I would say that the one round she narrowly squeaked out, got her a 10-9, and then she got a 10-9 on the 2 she clearly won, so I would have given her a 30-27, and Felice Herrig, I'm so happy she's back, big fan of hers. She was coming off a win going into this fight, but she needed this win to really elevate her. So this was a great fight, exciting fight. So Felice Herrig definitely deserves top, I would say, 7 ranked opponent in her next matchup. Then in the lightweight division we had James Vick versus Abel Trujillo. James Vick, fellow Texan, nice guy, real personable. Really being overlooked in the UFC lightweight division, I think, because there's just so many talented lightweight fighters out there in this division that he somehow gets overlooked, and I think another win or two, maybe he'll get attention. I don't know. The guy has a really good record at the UFC, and I believe it's 6-1 or something. And James Vick, he just submission Darce choke. It was round 3 going. But he was looking good in the first 2 rounds. And so it wasn't like, oh, I was losing and then I got this, submission. No, it was pretty much James Vick using his footwork and using his boxing to keep him at bay and do what he wanted with Abel Trujillo in this fight. And Abel Trujillo's a tough, durable veteran in the UFC. James Vick, submission, Darce choke, round 3, and I think James Vick deserves a top 15 ranked opponent in his next fight. James Vick is just a star in the making, I think. He's been under the radar for so long. I mean, he's been in the UFC for a while now, but I mean, I think he's going to be up there in name and notoriety before you know it. Then in the light heavyweight division, we had Volkan Ozdemir versus Ovin St. Preuve, and I think this one shocked a lot of people, including myself. Volkan came in and was able to stand and bang with OSP, and yeah, OSP had some moments, but yeah, I mean, Volkan, you know, he just, wow. I mean, that striking his was just, he had good, I think he had good Muay Thai coaches, and that did the trick here. And OSP, he's known for, well, I mean, he's a good veteran, but he's known for probably, if I had to pick, his wrestling. And Volkan coming into the UFC, going up against a top 10 ranked guy in the light heavyweight division and putting on a clinic like that and squeaking out the win. I mean, even if he lost with grace and dignity, we would all give him props, but the fact that he squeaked out a win over a top ranked guy in the light heavyweight division, a guy that just recently fought for the interim light heavyweight title against John Jones not that long ago. So Volkan definitely belongs in the top 15, and I think he should fight a top 15 guy in his next fight. Then in the heavyweight division, we have Marcel Fortuna versus Anthony Hamilton. This is another one that shocked me. I thought Anthony Hamilton having a huge weight advantage. It was like several dozen pounds at least. Because Marcel Fortuna is a natural light heavyweight, but he took this fight on short notice at heavyweight and just agreed to it to get his foot in the door in the UFC. And it was KO punches, round 1 win for Marcel. And yeah, Marcel's a Brazilian, well, going to be now light heavyweight in the UFC, and I think he's a guy to look out for that could make splashes, only time will tell. But nonetheless, I mean, Anthony Hamilton's a name. He's trained at Greg Jackson's for a while now, and he's tough, durable, heavyweight veteran in the UFC. So for him to come in with and go up against a guy with that big of a weight gap, Marcel barely made the heavyweight limit. I mean, it was like, I think he weighed in at like 210, and the limit's like 206. So Marcel really stole the show here. Impressive. Yeah, it was KO punch round 1, and I mean, Anthony Hamilton dropped pretty drastic. So impressive win for Marcel, and yeah, I can't wait to see more of this guy at 205 next in his next fight, and also who they're going to match him up against. Then in the women's strawweight division, we had Jessica Andrade versus Angela Overkill Hill. Angela Overkill Hill, she is, as many of you know, the diehard fight fans know, Invicta strawweight champion going into this fight, making her big comeback in the UFC. And yeah, Jessica Andrade, she just she teed off and was really aggressive, but Angela, like I said on my pre-fight show, would hold her own, and I knew this would go to a unanimous decision. I knew that Andrade would just be, her power and her killer instinct would just take hold, and her skill and technique would take hold, and it would get her that win. But Angela, I knew, would be able to hold her own. And yeah, I was rooting for Angela as a fan, but I knew Andrade was just, her power and determination were there that night, and she would get it done. And yeah, this was a good striking clinic on both sides, and you know, there's a few people out there that might argue Angela Hill won this fight, but I think the judges got it right. Jessica Andrade definitely, especially I believe in that last round, she really went for it, went for the finish. And there was moments where I thought Angela was done, but she hung in there like a true champ that she is. And so I hope to see a lot more of Angela in the UFC. But Jessica Andrade, I think she definitely deserves that coveted title shot now. And it looks like they have made it official. She will get Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and that will be an exciting fight. I think Joanna should be able to defend her belt in that fight, but I'll have to double check the stats on that. But I think Joanna should be okay overall. But yeah, Jessica Andrade definitely earned her spot for that title shot. So that wraps up the post-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Stay tuned for my pre-fight for UFC 208, Home versus Jermaine. And until then, see ya!